What's up, everybody? We are multi-dimensional right now. My name is Tangiblethomas, and we are going to be going into some research about my county, my city. I've been here my whole life, 30 years, born here. I have a grandparent that's buried here, and they also have, my other grandparent has another plot here that when she passes, she's gonna be buried here. They've been here for many years, decades, way before I was born. Naples, Fort Myers, Marco Island, Goodland, Immokalee, very well known. It's funny that GTA 6 is actually going to be based off of Southwest Florida, and I'm waiting for them to make a video, come out and release that game, so I could live stream playing it and exploring it, you know, as a well-versed Southwest Florida resident. I own a company here. My family has worked here. So yeah, I'm doing legal research, and if you guys have been watching my videos, I'm pretty well versed in finding the proper ways to utilize the laws. Like in the lien video that I had put together, I purchased the car. There was a lien that was on the car that I removed just by, you know, following statutes and due diligence and research and all that stuff. And I have some other notches in my belt dealing with other legal civil matters type stuff. And yeah, so I always have a big itch, you know, to research laws and research what's going on in my county. And I'm doing research, looking at all the court cases here in Collier County. So I go to Collier Court. I just type that into the browser. This pops up, ca.cjis. You know, this is the county spot, and put court schedules, put Collier County, and then this is where all the judges come up. All right, these are all the judges here in Collier County. I'm always down at the courthouse. I know everybody by name, but at this point, you know, I'm always in the law library, and sitting in the courthouse courtrooms, hearing the traffic court and civil court. The estate is my favorite. The estate hearings, you know, disputes in the estates and whatnot. And I'm very familiar with these judges also. There was a YouTube channel that I stumbled across that has Zoom hearings that features these judges, and it's the Law Chronicles, which is the name of the channel that has these, which I'm fortunate to have stumbled across. And so when I'm doing my research and I'm looking for I'm not really typically looking for anything in particular unless I'm really looking. I noticed some different things that take place here on this website that are kind of, you know, I don't know if it's mistakes. I know if it was ever probably there. I know there's reasons why there might be, you know, and I ask these questions on why something would be taken to an extent of, you know, if it was intentional, unintentional, you know, what was the purpose behind certain things. You know, I find that I'm like an investigator, kind of like a Sherlock Holmes in a sense. You know, I find that breaking things apart and putting it back together, you know, if you see my videos, I made the video for that the Buick that I own, on taking apart the dashboard and the whole car basically to fix the AC, you know, and there wasn't any video available, so I made the video. I'm very proud of that. So, you know, I'm very, that's just my nature, okay? And when I am looking for anything, you know, that sticks out, you know, I'm looking for patterns, I'm looking for anomalies, you know, I'm looking for things that, I keep looking out the window over here. I look for all kinds of things, you know, similarities to certain things, you know, things that are not like in the gray area. I'm always researching the laws, civil procedure, estate laws, criminal laws, family law, you name it. You know, there's federal law, there's state law, there's common law, there's treaties, there's, you name it. There's different procedures for federal, there's different procedures for civil. State laws are all different. You got federal case law, you got state case law, you know. There's so many arguments on different procedures. There's like tort law, there's certain things that have to be followed in order for something to be like even considered. Like if there's a tort law, there has to be a certain amount. DeSantis just reformed the tort laws to make it more less frivolous cases to be entered into the system, overloading the system. And then there has to be like you know, yeah, anyways, ChatGPT is definitely a great tool to have, if you know. Anyways, so today I'm researching on this website here, cia.cjis20.org. Okay, this is the whole purpose of this video, was to talk about this website and just take you guys down the steps and the things that I went down in order to, you know, come across. So what I do is I just click on these different judges here, and so Brody has a schedule. This is the Brody Circuit, Collier County Circuit schedule, and I go to weekly docket, and it gives me the breakdown of the cases that Mr. or Mrs. Brody has. Lauren Brody has in the courthouse. Okay, so these hearings, today is the 31st. Today she had a plaintiff's motion to strike and motion to vacate judgment. Okay, there's the attorney's name, and here's the case number. All right, on Thursday, May 30th, there was jury trials. There's nothing there. I don't know, I guess they were in chambers all day. I have no idea. Anyway, so that's that one. I go to I just go down the list on all these. I just click all these links, okay, and I just find out what's going on in the week. So this Judge Brown has final hearing May 28th. Case number DR, domestic relations, I believe that's what that means. Motion 10th relief, writ of bodily attachment. Okay, so this is like a family court. Look, these are all the attorneys here. And all right, so then, you know, so I just go down the list, and if say one of these any of these cases intrigue me, sometimes they'll say like estate dissolve something, I don't know, in the motion proceeding. I'll just go here and copy this case number. Okay, then I'll open up a new tab, and then I go to collierclerk.com, and this pulls up record search, court records search, and then I go to case search, and then I type in or paste the case here, click search, and this is all public information. This is open to everybody. you know, websites pay other websites to, I'm sorry. To use skip tracing, you know, which is highly illegal, but you know, anyways, they click. So if I find something, Dream Builders of Southwest Florida, American Dreams. This is the contract and indebtedness disposed. Was this even the right one? Non-jury, or wait, which one was I here? Anyway, so then I click on the case number, and then this gives me all the defendants and the plaintiff. All good, David, American Dream Builders, which a lot of people are being sued. And then I click on the dockets, and then this gives me all of the stuff I need to know. Civil cover sheet, notice of related cases, complaints. So that's always the thing that I like to read, is the complaint on how to like this tells you everything what needs to be done in court, and the reason why they're in court is the judge needs to hear the complaint, and if they go to the jury trial, they're gonna argue in front of the judge, in front of the jury, and you know, the judge has to make sure all the proceedings are being done properly with rules of evidence and whatever else that, you know, court procedures, jury instruction, all the stuff, you know, he has to make sure that it's all fair, and and nobody is cheating in a sense, you know. And so now this complaint says parties, plaintiff David Allgood and resides in Lee County, and David Allgood and American Dream Builders Southwest Florida plaintiffs herein files the complaint against Pat Winder, defendants herein, and alleges jurisdiction, venue, facts, and support of claims on January 21st, 2018. Plaintiff David Allgood and collective defendants entered into a business purchase agreement. Okay. Stating the facts, starting from the beginning, whatever that contract was signed by plaintiff. Hereafter the following shall be referenced in complaints. American Dream Builders defendant purchase ADB for a contract amount of $200,000, payment of the purchase, which states paid as 2% of the revenue for 36 months after closing. This CO calls for commission salary payable. Plaintiff holds the following. I'm just skipping all through. I just go through all this stuff. You know, this is a big complaint here. Yeah, these building complaints, this is a lot to go through. Plaintiff reasonably relied on representations of defendant to plaintiff's detriment by entering into said agreement and performing his. So it's like a malpractice type something, because they listed the plaintiff as an attorney as a plaintiff, as a defendant. So there's a trust too. Bocho client, current status, reported actual amount owed. There's a trust there. Insurance there. So this is a big complaint. Look at all these. Look at all this. Counts. Count 7, unjust enrichment, worthless checks, unjust enrichment, Goodman project, unjust enrichment. Wow, yeah. So they got a lot going on here. How many? Okay, so that's evidence, business purchase agreement, American Dream. Okay. Anyways, so I go through all that stuff and I just read it, you know, and that's just the beginning. So I go through the complaints, and then now I go to the end. Order for dismissal. See? Pending recording, status held, notice of hearing status. Okay, so it got dismissed. At the end of the day, you know, all that stuff was said and done and did, and Order granting substitution counsel, dream builders. It looks like it got dismissed at the end of the day. Okay. Agreed order directing court. They might have came to a settlement. I have no idea. But to go through it and to find out what had taken place, you know, and then going through all the dockets here, I would Google setting hearing sounding, notice of mediation, motion to strike, you know. I'll just go through all this. This defendant HH laws, motion to strike from trial docket or the alternative, you know, and I'll just like look up any of these terms that I don't know, undersigned counsel, you know, dismiss count 2 of the complaint, and then now the judge makes the determination, proceeding hearing, motion to strike, and then it'll say order granting, motion to strike, or impartial, or something. No agreement, so that means the mediation, there's no agreement that was held. Motion for continuance, motion in limine, motion for continuance, withdrawal for demand. See, anyways, I go through all this stuff all the time, and I would spend hours here. You know, I read statutes to go to sleep because they're boring, and well, they're not boring, but you know, it's tedious going through statutes, so I read them. You know, call me crazy, whatever, but that's what like I like doing is reading the statutes. The law fascinates me, you know. So anyways, to get back to the video and why I made this video and why I'm recording here is that I'm going through all these schedules, these weekly schedules, as I periodically do, just checking up on random things. That's what's happening in my county, and I'm going down the list, and I go down here to Collier County Child Support Hearing Officer schedule, and I click and I open it up, and here we go. Okay, so this is hold on, let me exit all these so we don't get confused. These are showcase, court. So there's nothing here. I go to open link, and it opens up here, print docket. All right, so this is the Collier Hearing Officer docket. All right, Collier County Child Support Hearing Officer docket. And now I'm going through here, and I noticed this one attorney, which is strange, is Merrill Randy, all the way down, right? And I'm looking, and it's just the same attorney, Merrill Randy. I'm like, okay, odd. I mean, how does one attorney do all these proceedings? Contempt, arrears, contempt, compel. And I'm like, okay, well, hold on, what's going on here? There's another one. I'm looking down, it says DR, but what's this here? You know, I'm going down DR, and what's this here? Going down, you know, what's this here, right? So then, it's not the same attorney, Mr. Merrill Randy. And then I go and I look up the case number, and when I look up the case number, it doesn't appear in the collierclerk.com. Go to the record search, court records, search, and then case search. So then I would copy, Control C, Control V, search, nothing pops up. So then I look up Miss Linda Perrone, right? Perrone Linda, and it appears negligence, premises liability, commercial. So then I click, defendant is TT of Airport Incorporated, and the plaintiff is Linda. So Miss Linda is the plaintiff. She's the one filing the lawsuit, which it is a lawsuit, being CA, civil action. civil cover sheet, and I always click for the complaint, right? So I click the document and then I read through it, and it turns out TT of Airport Incorporated, DBA Naples Acura. All right, and then the general allegations, and it says that they're getting sued for over $50,000. All the stuff in the complaints here on. All right, so then I'm like, interesting. So then it didn't. I already had went through. That's my way of for the first things I do. So then I go, it says parties, Judge Foster, right? So Judge Foster, go through the dockets. I know it's already Judge Foster. I go down here, I'm looking to see if there's anything important that I want to look at. Then I go to the end. Okay, and I'm figuring out where they are in this case. And then I noticed that on 5/23 set hearing docket on 6/3. But remember, I had found this in the child support, Collier County Child Support Hearing Officer schedule. I found this case here, this case with Perone Linda with the dockets in the child support area of this website. Okay. So you go here, court schedules, Collier County, then you go to Collier County Child Support Hearing Office, and then you'll find it right here. Put in the name, in the showcase, case search, and then you'll find it. All right, so there's a hearing docket on 6/3 for Joseph G. Foster. All right, and then, but it says that there was a hearing at 10 a.m. on May 30th, right? So why are they going to put a hearing in the child support area on May 30th, and it doesn't show up in the case dockets on showcase, right? So today, I mean, it goes from May 23rd, but there's nothing on May 30th, right? But it's here, May 30th. Okay, so then I click and it says motion to compel, notice of cancellation, response, notice of hearing amended for enlargement of time. I don't know what that means, but I clicked on the document here, and then it says here June 3rd, 2024. Showcase request for production. Okay, so on April 11th, 2024, notice of hearing motion for enlargement of time at 10 a.m. Click on this one. Alright, so now it says defendant's notice of hearing. You are hereby notified that we shall call up for hearing before Honorable Joseph Foster, Judge, above style court on May 30th, 2024. Alright, so that's this here. But why would they place it in the child support? You know, is that like a mistake? I have no idea, you know, because when I go to his actual here schedule via this website, the Collier County schedule, court schedule, Joseph Foster weekly docket, and then I go down to Thursday, May 30th. They're not here. Okay, it says 9 a.m. but here it says 10 a.m. but under the child support spot. I don't know. I don't know if they're confusing people or just throwing people off, or I don't know what's taking place, why, but I find it odd that they're not going to list it on the court schedule here on their website. It might be a mistake, but it doesn't look good for the defendant in this case. When I went through these dockets here, I noticed that there was a lot going on here. And on the second, there was a protective. Hold on, let's go through motion to compel. So they're trying to notice of hearing, expert witness. Objection to notice of production from non-party. Motion for protective order. Okay, so I read through this protective order, and this order here is very well put together. Like, when I read people's motions, I can tell that, you know, some attorneys care, some attorneys don't care, some attorneys use the same copy paste stuff for certain motions. You know, they might have been too tired that day writing up a motion, but when I go through this motion is very well put together. They have case law on why they need to be this protective order. So what happened here was notice of production from non-parties, request for production. Defendant wanted third party to defendant's third request to produce to the plaintiff. So the defendant needed medical records produced from the plaintiff. So the defendant needed documents from the plaintiff to examine in order to build a case against the plaintiff, and, you know, complicated law stuff that I cannot explain and want to mess up, but I understand it. And so the defendant is asking the plaintiff for documents, and now the plaintiff is saying, no, we're not giving you the documents. Do not ask me for the documents anymore, and actually I'm going to ask the judge to protect me from you and stop you from asking me about the documents, and to keep you from getting the documents. And in that motion here, in the protective motion for a protective order, now they're asking the judge to write an order and put it into the record. An order is to what's said and done by the judge, and he's going to make the ruling and make it fair that the defendant is no longer going to be able to ask for those documents. Okay, and the judge, so each person is arguing. The defendant and the plaintiff are arguing against each other, and they're sending everything into the court, and the judge is going to make the determination on who's gonna get this and who's gonna get that. Okay, and whoever has the better argument wins. Okay, and whoever can articulate the law better wins. Okay, the weight of evidence always wins at the end of the day. If somebody fumbles and they don't have the weight of evidence, then you lose. Okay, so all this here, all these words on this paper is basically kind of like a form of evidence in a way. You know, you gotta argue that yes, I have reasons that, you know, they don't need something or I need something. So when you put case law into the motion, you know it's very well put together. Okay, and every single one of these points here has a case listed, and it's Florida case law. Okay, and they go on and on and on. All right, and what I noticed about Collier County, again, the reason why I made why I'm making this video is that Collier County doesn't, as all counties, as all government, I think, you know, they have a way of bending the rules, you know, as all places do, you know. And what seems to be that there is a way of like bias in Collier County, as I find that Collier County has a bias for its like inner circle, so to say. Okay, like they're either for the Collier County resident, or not resident, but business I don't know, anybody that is asking for something, whether it's right or wrong, they kind of, I find that it's a bias for them, and when it's something is against them, they're still biased, you know, in helping protect that person. Okay, and I don't know what motive is or why they would confuse the dockets here and the schedules and all that stuff, but from what I'm getting at is that this person here is from New York and had an accident or an incident, and they're a New York resident, and they're suing Naples Acura, and you know they're doing a very good job on, you know, going about the case and having a favorable outcome at this point. Okay, and I don't know if they're trying to keep that from the public or keep that from the other attorneys or keep that out of the sight of, you know, the mass, you know, but it's here, you know, nobody could, they're not hiding it completely 100%, you know. All right, so again, when I go to the child support area, there's another case here. It was a mortgage. Okay, Mortgage Corp versus Luckner at 4 p.m. Okay, so I typed in Luckner Joseph. All right, and this is really something that kind of alarmed me, because it kind of reminded me, you know, nobody's perfect here, you know, we all have debt, you know, we all have different ways of doing things, you know. I always take things the opposite of how everybody else takes, in a sense, you know. I've you know, rebellious, you know, John Adams and Benjamin Franklin and everybody that had founded the United States rebelled against Britain, and ultimately we earned our freedom as independent sovereigns to, you know, have this beautiful country on a rebellious, like the framing fathers of the Constitution were rebellious, you know, with the Tea Party, and you know they wanted to tax the tea, and they said, no, you're not taxing my tea, and then, you know, they killed people and people died and all this stuff, you know. We don't, they did that for us, you know, and it's great. So I have a certain way of viewing the world in that kind of outlook, you know, still civilized. You know, I would promise and hope and believe that we live in a civilized society that is just and moral, that has integrity and all this stuff, you know, like. And when I go down these rabbit holes, I find things that don't line up, you know. So I've had my fair share of courts and police and attorneys and hospitals and contracts and all this stuff. You know, I've had my fair share. You know, I'm learning the hard way. My parents haven't taught me a lot about that type of stuff, you know, like credits and all this stuff. Okay, anyways, this case here, Luckner, is why I'm making this video here, is just to do my own research and show you guys my findings and just to put this out into the world. You know, I just want to see where we're going here. All right, I just want to Joseph. Okay, Luckner Joseph. All right, and I find like the world needs more people out here really putting the microscope over everything, like really examining, like, you know, Sherlock Holmes, you know, over everything. We need more people having the time and the due diligence and the need and the want in order to, you know, put this stuff in perspective. Okay, so this is a Taylor Bean Mortgage Corp. Okay, so now I put the name in, Luckner Joseph, and it's not, nothing's here. So now we're gonna, okay, 11/2019, 418. Okay, so we're looking for case number 418. This one. All right, Luckner Joseph, file date was 2019, contract and debt disc, reopen. See, it says a reopen. Why would it say reopen? Okay, so Luckner, defendant, plaintiff is Taylor Bean. Okay, so now, oh, Brody Lauren, judge, Brody Lauren. All right. So now I go here, I go to Brody Lauren schedule. Remember that the child support Collier hearing dockets, you know, with these DOR, Department of Revenue contempt dockets proceedings here. This is on May 30th for this case here, Luckner Joseph at 4 p.m., right? Hiding. So then we go to Lauren Brody docket, and for May 30th, I mean Thursday 30th, there's nothing scheduled here. All right, so it just, what else is taking place here? You know what I'm saying? Like, it says that there's jury / non-jury trials for Thursday, May 30th, but when I go to the child support hearing, it says that there is a case scheduled at 4 p.m. through the docket. It says notice of hearing to show cause, right? Luckner, show cause on April 9th, 2024. All right, and I went through all these dockets. I checked everything here. I'm looking through, right? Order to compel. Receipt number, how to refund amount, PA, receipt number. What is all this? Like, final default judgment, Joseph recorded instrument number. See, I just click on all this stuff. It said instrument number. What does it mean, instrument? You know, like these words, instrument number, I just read these numbers, you know, like instrument. Like what is this? What does this mean? So what I'll do is I'll go. Sorry, I don't. I'm going off on tangents. A tool or implement used to facilitate work, especially a small precise tool used by a professional. Okay, instruments, legal meaning. Instrument, legal meaning. An instrument is a written legal document that records the formal execution of legally enforceable acts or agreements and secures their associated legal rights, obligations, and duties. Contracts, wills, promissory notes, deeds, statutes passed by competent legislators. So a statute is an instrument. Okay, that is what the law is. The law is you have to wear your seatbelt when you get in the car. And that's an instrument. Is the statute that tells you you have to wear your seatbelt when you get into the car. You have to. Okay, so that applies to this default final judgment, right? As per this docket line 28 that was hiding in the child support section of the Collier County court schedules, right? You know, like I'm just trying to put all this stuff together, right? So now, like, for me to talk all this out, you know, it takes time. But, you know, they say you think like 1,000 words per minute in your head, you know, or something like that, I forget, or more. So for me to like talk, I could probably talk like I don't know, if I really talk fast, like 100 words per minute or something like that. So when I'm thinking alone, you know, and I'm in my zone, I'm putting all this stuff together and it just doesn't add up. So now we're looking at a final default judgment on a mortgage company that's using instruments that is compelling this person, you know, doesn't add up, you know. So it says notice of hearing to show cause. Okay, to show cause, like why does somebody have to show cause, right? So this is Luckner Joseph, defendant at Royal Hammock Boulevard. See, they put all this stuff out in public information. Please take notice that on Thursday, May 30th, or as soon thereafter, all parties will appear via Zoom. Okay. Notice of hearing. And that date was May 30th. See, they put May 30th and it didn't show up on her schedule, on Brody's schedule. Hearing docket, it showed up on the child support docket. I'll call your hearing docket. It showed here on May 30th at 4 o'clock. So I don't know if that was a mistake, but if somebody's making mistakes like this in the courthouse, you know, where else are they making mistakes? Do you understand? It's like erroneous things need to be dismissed, and if somebody argues that something's erroneous, then it's erroneous, and it doesn't hold any grounds to be used. Okay, so now if this is a mistake here in these dockets on this court Collier hearing official docket, they're making mistakes elsewhere. Okay, now that doesn't work, right? There has to be integrity. There has to be these things that are in place to make these types of mistakes from happening, and if they are happening, they need to be, somebody else sees this, somebody else knows this, somebody else is doing this, you know, somebody else notices this. It has to be brought to the light and put into the attention, so it needs to be corrected, right? So now if these type of things are happening on this level, if there's other mistakes that are happening also, you can assume, right? Like it's just a no-brainer. Okay, so these dockets might not be might not be putting together correctly, right? So now when they're entering these dockets in, are they being put in correctly? Are they not being put in correctly? Who knows at this point? You know what I'm saying? You can't tell. Now everything gets thrown out the window at this point, because who's to say that the integrity of these dockets here are true and correct? You know? And now like the whole, like everything just starts being questioned at this point. Like the integrity, the credibility of what's taking place is now questioned. Okay, because now I just found these things, you know, and I begin to ask these I ask more questions, right? I present myself with more questions, and then I say, well, was it intentional? You know, because when they're compelling these people, I'm thinking, you know, this person is being foreclosed on. They don't have money. You know, something happened, COVID or something, you know, now they're trying to take this house from these people on using instruments like statutes, order setting hearing. Okay, so now they're saying that this is an instrument, amended supplement recorded instrument, using these basically statutes is what we're getting at. Again, another one, a final judgment. Okay. Okay, so now it says motion to order to show cause. Let's click this one. Motion for order to show cause, wherefore plaintiff respectfully requests that the court enter an order directing the defendant Luckner to appear for disposition or to appear before this court to show cause why the defendant failed to appear for deposition. Plaintiff further requests that this file remain open until the defendant fully complies with plaintiff's post-judgment discovery request. See? The plaintiff is basically bullying Mr. Luckner Joseph. Who knows Mr. Luckner's Joseph story? You know, we don't know. Maybe he has a family. You know, maybe, who knows? I don't know. Motion to compel, order to compel. Check this order to compel. Order granting plaintiff's motion to compel. This matter having come on October 4, 2021, that the plaintiff's order is granted, comes now. Plaintiff interrogatories. Okay, so now the judge granted the motion to compel, order granting plaintiff's motion to compel. So now what the Mr. Joseph has to do is state your name, address, social security number, and date of birth. State whether you are married, single. State your home and work phone numbers. State the name and address of your present employer. Okay. State the commencement of your present employment and describe your position if married. Income. Okay. Assets. Now the judge just ordered Mr. Joseph to give all this information. Okay, all this information in order to extract money out of them to get this mortgage payment. I guess they're backed up on their mortgage, you know, or something. Who knows? Maybe this whole case is frivolous and erroneous. If that I can argue, being that, you know, that they made the mistake of putting this hearing under the child support Collier hearing. They put this case, maybe this whole case is just a big bully type case, to where they're trying to keep it away from the public's view and to not witness their bully extraction methods to extort into improperly, like you know what I'm trying to say, like they don't want people to know about this stuff. Okay, maybe the mortgage is completely paid off, you know, but this person, nobody knows about the law. Imagine getting hit with a lawsuit. There was a story where one of the banks had did the same thing. I'm gonna find it too. I'm gonna find it. And the same thing, you know, in order to hire another attorney to go against Collier County or any county, yeah, good luck. Good luck. Anyways, so this is why I made the video. I just wanted to go through all this stuff, you know, and put my findings out there. You guys do your own research. You guys see the time here. You guys see all my same thing, you know, this is all here, you know. This is my phone, the time and the dates. Okay, it's all here. Okay, these they update these websites, these court schedules, they update them, so this is gonna disappear. So if anybody finds this video, they're gonna change. It's already the 31st. I should, you know, I'm gonna make more of these videos, but I just wanted to point this out here. All right, so this is for this week. So next week, oh wait, okay, see, when you go back, there's a potential for them website developed and maintained. There might be you might be able to find it again, but you see previous. Okay, great. So maybe it'll stay there. Oh wow, look, see, now, you know, let's see if it stays. Okay, see, look, there's another one. AA insurance. See, I'm surprised. See, now, wow, now I can just go through and really look at all this stuff and really do an audit. In a sense, you know, it's like all these First Amendment auditors are going out into the world. I'm extremely introverted. Okay, I can maybe pull it off, but the guy Chua Pri, he's funny, but he's a big beefy guy, and he knows like all these. I've seen all his other videos. Like he doesn't get intimidated. You know, I'm a short stature. You know, anybody would, you know, beat me up just cause, you know, anybody, nobody wants to mess with like a 6'10" First Amendment auditor walking through. You know, they're definitely gonna use their words before putting their hands on somebody that's 6'10". You know, with me, they don't care about putting their word. I've had officers just not even ask me any questions, just basically walk right over me, you know, and put me in handcuffs for anything. You know, they don't care about words. You know, it doesn't matter. Oh, look at this little guy. We're just gonna bully him. Anyways. So here we have it. Let's see if the other judges were able to go back and find. Okay, great. Yes, see, now we find that the judges have, we can go back and find these separate cases. We could probably go back for a while. I don't know how far, but I'm guessing for quite some time. All these dockets here. So great, you guys, do your own research. My name's Tangible Thomas. We are multidimensional. Peace out.